As someone who loves film, I pride myself on how much I know about movies. It's a huge part of my personality and of who I am. However, you'd be shocked to know how many classics have fallen through the cracks that I just haven't watched. So I figured, what better way to cross some of those movies off my list than to take all of my unwatched films in the IMDb Top 250 and put them into a random wheel and make it a TikTok series. Whatever movie this lands on, I have to watch and then give my review after. So, let's get into it. First movie that we will be watching is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Can't wait.
2 hours later.
Just finished watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. Here are my initial thoughts. First things first, let's get the positives out of the way here. The use of music in this film and the lack thereof in certain scenes was incredible. I found myself really enjoying the monolith theme. Whenever the monolith came on screen, there was a very haunting and very eerie, borderline horror movie-esque soundtrack that came on to really make that monolith ominous and show that the astronauts and the apes that see it, right, are frightened by this unknown thing, but also curious. It was a beautiful, beautiful score. I loved it, and it made all of those scenes way more intense for me. I thought they were great. The big positive is obviously how gorgeous this movie looks. It is unbelievable that this movie was made when it was. It's astounding. It's so pretty. The cinematography is unbelievable. The lighting, the CG or use of whatever effects they use, whether it be practical or computer generated, it's unreal. I can't get over how beautiful this movie is and how great it looks. It honestly frustrates me about how beautiful it is, because you think about some movies that are made today and they look just like a pile of CGI shit, and it's infuriating, because if a movie that was made so long ago can look so stunning, there's no excuse for movies today to be made and look the way they do. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's a masterpiece cinematography wise. It's amazing. Transition scenes is where the use of that beautiful background kind of also starts to lose me a bit. A lot of the scenes that focus on the ship moving through space, right, showcase this beautiful scenery and the beautiful way that Kubrick makes space look. However, I feel like these scenes last a little bit too long, and sometimes it drags, and that's kind of where the pacing of the movie starts to lose me a little bit. During those transition scenes specifically, I did start to feel the runtime a little bit, but then, it would pick right back up into another scene and I'd get back engaged. But the transition scenes were a bit much for me. I love the title card in this movie. That's another thing I wanted to point out that I really liked. The title card it's gorgeous with the sun peering over the top. It's beautiful. Some really cool shots in the movie. I love the shot of the hangar at the very beginning of the movie on the ship, where there's 4 windows, one on the bottom, one on the top, the one on the right, and one on the left, and you can see people working on all angles. Super cool shot. Loved it. The other major positive for me is Hal. I mean, before watching the movie, I know that people rave about Hal 9000 being this incredible villain in movie history, and I have to agree after watching it. Super, super cool villain. The way that he just so monotonely speaks and so calm, especially when Dave has to unplug him right at the very end, and he's like begging him, but in a very like kind of dry way. And then the way his voice drops to get deeper and deeper once he starts really kind of losing it. It was so good, super creepy. I think that's probably my favorite whole sequence of the movie is the unplugging of Hal, and you hear Dave's breathing as he's going in and unplugging, and it's a constant breathing, and it's getting flustered, and it's just super good. It was awesome, and it was that kind of way of Kubrick mastering his use of tension in films, which he's fantastic at, and that's definitely on showcase on full display here. It was super good, and I absolutely loved it. I will say, overall, I liked the movie. I did not love it. I know that this movie's kind of divisive in some ways. I know some people call it boring. I don't think it was necessarily boring, but I also don't think that it was my favorite movie ever. The ending with the giant baby, I will say, kind of took me out of the movie. I laughed a little bit at the end. I liked the whole sequence in the house where, you see him aging progressively as he looks at himself, which I thought was really cool. But then when the baby gets brought back, it just lost me. And I kind of chuckled a little bit. And I understand there's a much deeper meaning to it. But on a first watch, it kind of lost me, and I didn't love it. I also think that the pacing, like I mentioned earlier, is just definitely something that I think really I struggled with in the movie, and it felt like it jumped from place to place sometimes, and I felt like some scenes lasted way too long and some scenes were way too short. So overall, and I do think it was a little confusing at times. I will go back and watch it and watch some breakdown videos as well. My Letterboxd is going to be posted on the screen right now. If you guys want to go follow me over there, I have a new list where I'm going to have all of the movies that I watched in the top 250 in this series, and I'm going to have all my ratings for them. I would say for the first movie so far, for 2001: A Space Odyssey, I'm thinking 3.5 stars. Kind of right in the middle average of the pack movie for me. I really liked a lot of parts of it. It felt a little long at times. Plot-wise, I didn't necessarily love it. It was a little convoluted for me. But overall, I really, really liked it, and I would say it's a pretty good start for our new series. So I like that right in the middle at the 3.5, which I think is a good baseline start point. So, yeah, go follow me over on Letterboxd, and I hope you guys stick around with this journey. I hope to get your guys' feedback, and let me know in the comments if you guys like this movie or if you're someone that doesn't like this movie, and what you guys hope that I see next. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.